Abbey of Santissima Trinità Venosis, 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 Venosis. The Abbey of Santissima Trinità, or Abbey of the Most Holy Trinity, Italian, Abbazia della Santissima Trinità, is a Roman Catholic abbey complex at Venosa, in the Vulture area of the province of Potenza, in the southern Italian region of Basilicata. The architecture of the abbey shows Roman, Lombard, and Norman influences. The complex lies within the Parco Archeologico archaeological park of Venosa, approximately 1.5 km northeast of the town. It falls under the Roman Catholic Diocese of Melfi-Rapolla-Venosa. It consists of the old church of uncertain date, the monastery buildings, and the Incompiuta, the unfinished or new church, begun in the last quarter of the 11th century and never completed. The complex was declared a national monument by royal decree on 20 November 1897. It is no longer a monastery, but is used by the Trinitarian Order. 67, C7, C7, C7. History. The date of construction of the monastery is unknown. Some elements may date from the 8th century. A foundation date of 954 AD is documented in the spurious Chronican Cavents of the forger, scholar and priest Francisco Maria Pratoli 1689–1763. Following the Council of Melfi in 1059, the church was transformed from a cathedral to an abbey by a bull of Pope Nicholas Roman II, and the number of monks increased from 20 to 100. In the same year he invested Robert Guiscard as Duke of Puglia and Calabria, and Guiscard made the abbey the religious center of his domain. 73. The old church stands on the site of an imperial Roman building, probably a domus, which shows traces both of earlier Republican occupation and of later late classical modification. Some walls of the church are built directly on the mosaic floors of the earlier structure. To the south of the church and oriented at right angles to it are the remains of an early Christian basilica, probably built in the late 5th or early 6th century, with a hexagonal font in a trefoil apse. 140, 40, 140, 140, 140, 140, 40, 40. Old Church, Church. The Romanesque entrance to the church is flanked by a pair of stone lions. The church is laid out on a typical early Christian basilica plan, with a narthex and atrium, a wide central nave and lateral aisles, transept, and semicircular apse with ambulatory. Alterations were made by the Lombards in the 10th century and by the Normans between the 11th and 13th centuries. 2 Corinthian columns stand in the nave. In the right aisle is the Hautiville tomb Italian, La Tomba degli Altavilla, in which 5 members of the Norman Hautiville family are buried: Guglielmo Braccio di Ferro, William Iron Arm, 1010–1046, his brothers Drogo c. 1010–1051, and Umfredo Humphrey c. 1010–1057, and their half-brothers. Their bones, previously buried separately, were gathered into a single monument in the mid-16th century by Agostino Gurizio Barba da Navarra, bailiff of the Knights Hospitaller of St. John of Jerusalem. In the left aisle is the tomb of Aberrada, or Alberada of Buenalbergo, who married Robert Guiscard in 1053, but was repudiated by him for the Lombard princess the Chilgata of Salerno. Aberrada's son by Guiscard, Bohemond I of Antioch, hero of the First Crusade, died in Bari in 1111 and buried in Canosa di Puglia. The inscription on her tomb reads: Qui Viscardi Condifs Aberrada hac condifer arcasi genitum cuvers hvnc cansons habit, or roughly, Aberrada, wife of Guiscard, lies in this sepulchre. If you seek her son, Canosa has him. Construction of El Incompiuta began in the last quarter of the 11th century. Use was made of materials from monuments of various civilizations, including the Roman, Lombard, and Jewish. The layout is unusual for Italy and French in conception. It shows similarities to that of the cathedrals of Aversa and Cerenza. In 1297, by order of Pope Boniface Roman VIII, the abbey passed from the Benedictines into the hands of the Knights Hospitaller of the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, at that time based in the Kingdom of Cyprus. 78,